What's going on, guys? It's your boy Coochies, and we have some huge news in 2K17 today, hitting y'all with double upload. And today we're talking about the newest patch. Now the developers don't have to create an update anymore, as most of you guys know. They can just do it on the fly, which they did. There was no update that you actually had to do in game or anything. It just automatically happened. And so I'll put the patch notes up on the screen, and I'll also put a link in the description just in case the picture might be too small or something. But so let's get started. So the main thing that they were changing, it says that they're redefining the game, or when the game considers open versus covered versus crowded. Talking about shots. Now this mainly affects shot creators and stretched bigs. Sometimes when users think they play pretty good defense against the shooter, the game actually thinks the shooter is wide open. So this tweak will basically knock down covered jump shot percentage across the boards. It also so that's just saying that the game wasn't realizing when someone was playing good defense, and sometimes would consider the person wide open, even though the defender, or you yourself might be the defender, might be in the shooter's face. Now obviously that's very frustrating for defenders. Sharpshooters obviously loved it because they were making a lot of shots, and sharpshooters and stretch bigs are OP when it comes to shooting, but then again, you can't really get too mad because that's pretty much the only thing they're dominant at. They can go in the paint and dunk and shit like that, but they're not dominant at it. If they try to go up on big, they're going to get shut down 9 times out of 10. But I'm glad that the game is actually realizing that, and that the developers realized that and patched it. I'm glad that 2K is actually caring about the game after the game comes out. It's good to see, and I'm glad they covered that. And so next on the thing, it says, I also flattened out the right stick aiming bonus and penalties. Perfect aim was giving too big of a boost if they were too good, and too big of a penalty if you did not use the feature. And that's talking about right stick coming up when you're defending a shot, I'm pretty sure. And they're saying that they're trying to balance it out. They're trying to make sure if your hand is in their face, that I'm pretty sure this means like if your hand's in their face, and they're gonna say that you're a covered shooter, maybe not a crowded, but you're a covered, which is really good for the defenders. And it just makes the game way more balanced out. Like if your hand's in their face, they're not gonna make it every single time. And the next thing on the list, which is huge, the limitless range badge was nerfed a little bit. Still a useful badge, but people were cheesing it more than we anticipated. So they're saying, and this comes into effect when you're playing threes. People were taking one step over half court and just shooting and making them almost every single time. It was getting ridiculous. Now I don't have any sharpshooter characters, but I have to give it that sharpshooters do need to be able to shoot. I understand that, and I'm on their side about that. But when it comes to them taking one step over half court and everybody knocking it down like they're Steph Curry, it's a little ridiculous. And because nobody really thinks to play defense at half court, and say you cover him too late, he just takes one step over half court and is draining every single shot. I think that becomes a little ridiculous at times, and I mean I think they should make it like one every 3 or 4 times, but it was a good like 90%. They were just cashing out if they had a money shot. And the next thing, offensive awareness was reduced for CPU and on the higher levels, while defensive awareness was increased for user teammates. And so that's just saying when you're playing computer, the offensive awareness just isn't ridiculous. Like I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just they lowered it. They're not like robots out there just knowing everything's about to happen. And defense awareness was increased for the users. Yeah, so I mean, all that's just self-explanatory. Next thing, offensive consistency was reduced for CPU to match the user on Superstar and Hall of Fame. And so that's just another self-explanatory thing. You're not going to be as consistent, or the computer's not going to be as consistent on Hall of Fame and Superstar. And I think that's a good thing because last 2K, I mean, on Hall of Fame and Superstar, if you're playing my career, I mean, it was barely a bad time. It was rarely a time where computer was just not good. They were always consistent for the most part, and I always hated that. And I talked to my friends about that almost every time I played a game. And the defensive consistency was increased slightly for both CPU and user. I don't really agree with that one because defensive consistency, I mean, those fools are like robots out there sometimes. And I think, I don't know, hopefully it's not too much. It says increase slightly, so I don't think it's going to be a ginormous increase or a ginormous difference, but we'll see. And then it says, last thing, OG made a change to fix the excessive perimeter and double teaming. So that is probably one of my favorite things on this patch, because in real life, if somebody's doing good, you don't just automatically double team. The defenders don't automatically just leave the other man and start double teaming. And that's what happens in 2K. You start dribbling a lot. Like if you say you're working on tireless score, if you're dribbling a lot, and as soon as the bar hits like red or whatever, or even before that, they're already double teaming you. Or if you're scoring a lot of points, you cross half court, it's like an automatic double team, which obviously makes no sense because that's barely ever happening unless it's like the last 30 seconds of a game or something, and you're just trying to lock up. But for every single time, no matter what quarter and they're double teaming, I think that it just makes no sense. They really shouldn't have done that to begin with. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope this informed you. Let me know what you want to see next. If you liked it, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.